What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, the Detroit Lions took an embarrassing loss on Sunday, but luckily enough for Lions fans, they get to see the Lions play very soon as they play on Thanksgiving Day. They are set to play their annual Thanksgiving football game versus the Houston Texans this year. They play on Thursday and we get a chance to see them early this week. And like we do every week, I wanted to go over a Week 12 preview. Look at what the Lions have done well this season, look at what the Houston Texans have done this season, kind of compare the teams, see where they stack up against each other, and look at who should be the favorite in this matchup. Now, before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying the content that is shown on this channel, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so, and it helps the channel out more than you could know. So if you could do that, just take those 2 seconds out of your day to like and subscribe. I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But without any further ado, let's get into previewing this Thanksgiving matchup and previewing the matchup between the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions.
All right, the best thing about Turkey Day football, it's football on Turkey Day. Best thing about Lions games on Turkey Day, they usually happen before all your relatives show up.
Now, as I said in the beginning, the 4-6 Detroit Lions are set to host their annual Thanksgiving game, and this year we are playing the Houston Texans on Thanksgiving. Now the Detroit Lions are coming off an embarrassing 20-0 loss to the Carolina Panthers last weekend, while the Houston Texans are coming off a pretty big win of 27-20 to be exact versus the New England Patriots. Now, looking at the Texans offense, looking at what the Texans have done offensively this season, their offense has been okay, not great, but not necessarily the worst in the NFL. They have 3,589 scrimmage yards this season, which ranks 19th in the NFL. They are 32nd in plays ran, unfortunately, but they are 6th in yards per play at 6.1. So they don't run a lot of plays on the season. They have not ran a lot of plays, but they are very efficient on those plays when they do happen. The Houston Texans have committed 9 turnovers this season, which is the 3rd fewest in the NFL. They are 28th in first downs converted, or they are 28th in first down plays ran, and they are the 21st scoring defense in the NFL with 26 total touchdowns on the season. Now, again, this offense isn't great by any means, but it's not a bad offense. I mean, Deshaun Watson and his weapons are still very dangerous. Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller are a big reason to why that yards per play is so high. Deshaun Watson is obviously an elite quarterback in his own right. I mean, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and the record doesn't show it. That's why quarterback record is not a stat, because Deshaun Watson, despite the Texans being a 3-7 football team, Deshaun Watson is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and no matter who he's playing against, no matter who he's playing with, Deshaun Watson is going to keep the Texans competitive in every single game, much like Matt Stafford has done with the Lions for the past decade or so. Now, the Detroit Lions defense, how they stack up versus this Houston offense. The Lions defense right now is not a very good one. It hasn't been very good for quite a while, and this season it has just not worked for the Lions. The Lions this year are 26th in yardage allowed at 3,974 yards on the season. They are 27th in plays ran against. They are 23rd in yards per play allowed. They are tied for 27th in turnovers. They are ranked 31st in first down plays ran against them, and they are the 31st scoring defense. So they are not a good defense this season. They allow a lot of yards, they allow a lot of points, they allow a lot of yards per play, they don't get a lot of turnovers. Like, this defense is not a very good one. It's not a very competitive one, and although we have some good pieces like Amani and Tracy Walker and, John Pennicini and some of these other guys, this defense has not been competitive this season. This defense has not showed up to play, and they really haven't done anything special this season to make me think that they're going to turn it around anytime soon, unfortunately enough. I mean, the Lions defense is it's not a very good one, but it is coming off one of the better defensive performances this season versus PJ Walker and the Panthers. Now, that's not saying much, as we did play a backup quarterback and a backup running back during that entire game, and we did come out deep. We did have a decent defensive performance, or one of the better ones on the season, only allowing 20 points and getting 2 turnovers, but again, that was was versus PJ Walker and, a backup running back. Now we're going against Deshaun Watson, who is like PJ Walker on steroids, along with, Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks and, a couple other good pieces on that Texans offense. Now flipping over to the other side of the ball, when the Lions hold possession, the Detroit Lions are a better offensive team than they are a defensive team, but they're still not a very good offensive team, as you can definitely tell from last week. The Lions right now on the season are 25th in offensive yards at 3,429 yards on the season. They are 26th in plays ran. They are 21st in yards per play. They are tied for 22nd in turnovers, so they don't commit a lot of turnovers. I believe they have 10 on the season. They are 22nd in first downs ran, and they are the 24th scoring defense in the NFL. So basically, they're worse than the Houston Texans at everything. They are not good at offense. They are not good at defense. They are not a statistically good team in any way, shape, or form. They do not have a good record. They do not look good on film. This Lions team is looking very, very rough, and they are having quite a few struggles, and a lot of that has to do with the offensive play calling and the offensive execution from the players and coaches. The Lions have the pieces, and I know they're missing a lot of their star guys. They're missing DeAndre Swift, who is their second-round pick and looks to be, a really great weapon and looks to be kind of an engine for this offense moving forward. They're missing their number one wide receiver in Kenny Golladay, who's a big-time player for this team. I know they're missing weapons, and I know Kenny Galladay's missed a majority of the season. I know DeAndre Swift missed last game, but this offense, even with those two, it looks a lot better. Don't get me wrong. It looks like a pretty decent offense with those two guys in there. But Kenny Golladay may not play this week. DeAndre Swift still may not play this week. So, I can't say that the offense is going to be any better until I know those players are back. And those players haven't been confirmed back yet. The Lions didn't actually even practice yesterday on Monday. So, we don't know if they're going to practice this week. We don't know how they're shaping up. We don't know what DeAndre Swift's situation is with concussion. We don't know what Kenny Galladay's issue is with his hip. We don't know where he's at in his recovery stage. So, I can't tell you that the offense is going to be any better this weekend because I don't know if Kenny and DeAndre Swift are back yet. Looking at the Houston Texans defense, their defense is not much better than the Detroit Lions. They are 31st in yardage allowed on the season. They are 25th in plays ran against. They are 28th in yards per play allowed. They are 32nd in turnovers. They have the fewest turnovers in the NFL. They are 27th in first downs ran against, and they are the 27th scoring defense in the NFL. So the Houston Texans defense is almost worse than the Detroit Lions defense. They're worse in certain categories, they're a little better in certain categories, but both of these teams, reading those statistics, you could just tell both of these teams are not having the seasons they wanted. Both of these teams are having very disappointing, very lackluster seasons from both sides of the ball. The offense has let both teams down, the defense has let both teams down, and this season is not right. This season is not the one for either of these teams. Neither of these teams is going to go for a playoff spot. Neither of these teams is really shooting for anything significant this season. The most significant thing they have going for them is probably draft capital and draft selection, but the Houston Texans don't even have a first-round pick this year, so they don't really have anything to play for at all this season, except for, maybe a couple wins and a little bit of respect. The Lions, on the other hand, are playing for a top 10 draft pick. Obviously, they're not going to tank and they're not going to try to lose every game. But, at this point in time, the season's over. We're 4-6 with a lot of really good matchups left. And I don't see the Lions doing a whole lot this season. So at this point, they are playing for draft capital. And if they do lose to the Houston Texans, they will jump the Houston Texans in draft order. They will jump significantly in draft order if they lose this weekend or if they lose on Thursday versus the Houston Texans. I believe they'll jump up from 11 to 8 or 7 or something like that. They'll jump pretty significantly in the draft order, which, in the long term might be better for this team, especially with Patricia being on the hot seat, especially with Quinn being on the hot seat, and, a lot of our coaches likely not being here next year. That might not be the worst move, but, overall, this should be a high-scoring game. Neither of these teams has a good defense. I haven't really seen a great defensive performance out of either of these teams. The Lions having the one exception in Jacksonville, and the Houston Texans maybe having one exception here or there, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. Neither of these teams are good. This should be a high-scoring game. Neither defense has shown me anything from, watching either team. Neither defense has shown me a lot. Both offenses have showed flashes and shown ability, so I think this will be a higher-scoring game. I think we could see something in the, high 20s, low 30s kind of score range. I think we could see a lot of points, a lot of excitement on Thanksgiving, and the Lions tend to play good on Thanksgiving. They tend to play hard at Ford Field on Thanksgiving Day because that is their tradition. That is what they do. That is their, big moment of the season is is this Thanksgiving game. The whole footballing world is centered around the Detroit Lions this day. They're kind of sitting there, they're watching the Lions, they're there. The whole of America is watching this football game. This is their live television. This is their nationally recognized game. This is their primetime game. So generally they do play better on Thanksgiving, which is maybe a positive for this team. But overall, I mean, this team in the Detroit Lions isn't super competitive right now. This team in the Houston Texans isn't super competitive right now. It should be a fun game to watch. Two very bad defenses versus two average offenses. Like, it should be a decently high scoring game. It should be a fun game on Thanksgiving, and hopefully the Lions can win one more game on Thanksgiving, and hopefully Patricia can get his first Thanksgiving win before he's officially fired from the Detroit Lions. Now, with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. That was my preview for Week 12. Again, I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be a fun game. But in the end, I don't think this game will amount to anything throughout either of the two teams' seasons, either of the organizations. It won't really amount to anything. It should just be a fun matchup on Thanksgiving to go out and see our Lions try to win another football game. With all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if there is no Lions news before tomorrow, then I will see you all then with more Lions news and more Lions content. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow with more Lions content. Bye, guys.